what these overlapping circles are is a question. And the way in which I got to understand how Terrence sees the world is he says, look, there's this very old pattern that's distributed all over the world. And there isn't a great explanation for why it's found in so many different places, at least as far as I'm aware, and part of your point. And so I think you took a sort of Straussian approach to this by saying, I bet that this thing is hiding a secret. And that the reason that this is widely distributed is that it's cryptic. There's something that has to be understood that is not on the surface. And then you said something that's very reminiscent of Plato's cave, which is that maybe this is like a shadow on a flat wall, and that those two things are exploitable. And so the idea that this is occurring in a surface is, first of all, suspicious to you because of that curved linear triangle.
Hello, welcome to Secrets in the Shadows. This is Jada as your host, and today we are discussing Terrence Howard and Eric Weinstein on Joe Rogan. And of course, the flower of life and vortex mathematics. No hot topics needed for this episode, as it's hot enough. Thank you for tuning in to Secrets in the Shadows. Literally drinking whiskey, talking about these crazy topics, which is epic, by the way, Joe Rogan. You literally are Neo in my eyes. No, but Joe Rogan basically, he makes an important statement, which he says people like to attack others that get more recognition in them. And this also happens in academics. One thing I do appreciate about Joe Rogan is that he makes conversations like this happen. I appreciate that this conversation is even being taken place and that Eric took the time to sit with Terrence, even though he stated there were things that he did not agree with. However, the conversation essentially happened, and that is what we want to see more of. Eric brings up the idea that academia is kind of like the Hunger Games. It's very different from podcasting because there's enough money in podcasting. And it's a little bit different when competition isn't as intense. So there's the point being made that there is a philosophical approach to the nature of the number 0. So now, before we go back to the discussion amongst Joe Rogan and Eric Weinstein and Terrence Howard, there's actually a Reddit thread that dives deeper specifically into what Terrence may mean here. Did get a lot of upvotes, so I want to definitely read this to help better understand Terrence Howard's perspective here. Okay, so here it says, breaking down Terrence Howard's theory so it makes sense. The infamous square root of 2 equals 1. I think people misunderstand what Terrence means, and to be fair, his explanations are not the greatest. From what I'm getting after reading his 160-page PDF about his theory, he is not saying that 1 multiplied by 1 is 2 under current mathematics. That is not disputable. Those are the rules of the game. What he is saying is that the current mathematics based on 1 times 1 equals 1 only works in an imaginary 2-dimensional world and does not work when extrapolated to the real world, which is why breakthroughs in theoretical physics has seemingly hit a wall. It is the limit using the current model where 1 times 1 equals 1 and square root of 2 equals an irrational number. To illustrate, 1 times 1 in current mathematics basically is a short form for saying count 1 once. 2 times 2 is count 2 twice. Multiplication as we know it is simply addition expressed in a different way. You can always substitute out multiplication with addition in any equation. However, this quickly becomes unrealistic and illogical in the real world. In reality, oftentimes multiplication and addition have totally different mechanisms at work and cannot be substituted in an equation like it has always been done.
On platonic solids and come up with something new. The Rubik's Cube, the Habermas switch pitch, these things prove that that's not true.
I think it's a foolish thing almost always to pretend there's nothing new under the sun. You should always consider it.
Well,
you might not be correct, but there's only one way to find out.
Well, there's a difference between, you see, Terrence has much greater odds of contributing to the world of engineering than he does to the world of mathematics. I mean, the odds that he's doing something new in mathematics, I'll be blunt, are very, very small.
Even though I have patents on it that shows that all of this is novel?
I don't want to go there. The patents do not speak to what you think that they speak to.
That's okay.
And look, you can see into my heart. I'm not trying to.
No.
All right.
But we were talking. I told you that they produce a supersymmetrical structure.
When you say supersymmetry, I don't know that you know what a supersymmetry is.
What does supersymmetry mean to you, Terrence?
Supersymmetry means that all things come together, fit together, relate to each other. They're self-referential, and they are from a fractal that comes back to that same fractal space. That's supersymmetry.
So what you mean is a symmetry that is amped up, but supersymmetry is a reserved term that means something hyper-particular.
And that's what this
between
is.
Bosons and fermions.
That's what this is. This is the bosons. For the layman out there, the boson, the cloud, the whole boson thing is the force field or the energy field. The fermions is considered the matter aspects of it.